Hey, this one's an interesting question. Why your darkest times may be guiding you to your true path. So, my name's Stephen Bones. I practice shamanism and I'm a shamanic healer. I facilitate healing, I don't do the healing. The frequency comes through me, you've just got to match it. You'd really help me if you would subscribe or hit the bell, and it helps my channel. And the reason I ask that question, why your darkest times may be guiding you to your true path, is because last time I was talking about the medicine wheel. And the medicine wheel is cyclical, and we spoke about the east, the south, the west and the north last time. And what I want to sort of speak about is homing in on the east a little bit more, which is new beginnings. And that question of why your darkest times may be guiding you to your true path is what I found for me was certainly the case, because it once I got through those times, the east, the sun, the fire energy, also known as new birth or new beginnings, that are metaphors for our life, meaning that the sun is rising following these dark periods or the darkest times of our life, such as a traumatic event, such as losing a loved one or losing our job or our income. These are traumatic events that happen in our life. It could also be a relationship breakup. Any types of these events that we've experienced, many of you will be aware that they were probably the darkest parts of our lives. Not the darkest, but it was a dark time. Some may be darker than others. Depends whatever the experience is. But what I've found really fascinating and this is where I get excited and people wonder why I do about when our dark times show up. And what I really find fascinating from my own learning and understanding is that when these dark times show up, that I know that the sun is going to start to rise. And that's when we begin to heal whatever is around that traumatic event that has been stirred up and creates these new beginnings or a new chapter of our lives. And it becomes a reality. And it's as though we're being guided or helped. And because other humans may seem to appear and support us as well as we come out of these dark times. But that's a choice. We don't have to follow that. It depends whether we align our frequency with a new path. Many times in my life, I know I got knocked back and I sort of got up and dusted myself off and carried on doing the same thing again, or trying to achieve the same thing, as though it was a holy destination that I had to get to. And this is the whole point of it. It's once we have these dark times appear, it's opening up to why have they come up and what are they all about. So my own story was exactly this, and many of my have taken a different path is what I'm meaning, and many of my clients that have shared the same or similar stories of dark times, and why have they come up in their lives, and then all of a sudden that things begin to happen, new beginnings, because they're open to looking at a new path, a new direction, as though something's guiding them in that direction. And my view is that, as the same view as shamanism, that we are a spirit, we're a powerful soul, and we're all entangled in consciousness. And you can call that an energy, whatever you want to call it, with something bigger than what we think we are, because we really don't have any idea of what this is. So if you accept that there is something bigger, you've no real definitive answer to what it is. I was privileged to glimpse this power, this huge thing that we really are, by somehow moving into another dimension of consciousness, and that my consciousness on where we are now was watching what was happening, and what I was being shown was I can only describe from a 3D reality, but it was huge, and that made me realizing that that my biggest takeaway was when I received from that glimpse, I realized that we're far more than what we think we are. And there are many dimensions that we can't see, hear or sense. I suppose that caveat is depending how sensitive you are. So, because some of us see things, some of us feel things, some of us hear things. But the whole point is, what if these dark times that we go through, these traumatic events, could be because our souls or guides or other beings are trying to put us on our path, and there's something we learn from these dark experiences. There's something that teaches us, even though they're really unpleasant, of the path we're meant to follow. There's a teaching that comes out to it. And I also know through experience that what happens is we think we know our path. The human interferes. And we think we know our path because we're expected to by societal peers, like go to college or do this or you must succeed. We're sort of expected to perform, and if we don't achieve, then we have judgment of other human beings along the way, and then they make us feel shamed, and they can make us feel guilty and even cut off from parental love. And I've experienced all this as well, and I've worked with many, many people that have experienced that. And that can put us into what we call shadow work, and then dark times something might happen to point us to looking at that shadow work, or even the dark time or shadow work, something releases, and that's why we then go into the east, which is new beginnings. So I hope that makes sense. It's again, the whole idea is to get you curious about what this sort of work is about and what I do, and I'm not necessarily asking you to work with me. I'm just looking for you to get curious about what you are and how big you are. So I really want to thank you for listening, and I will catch you on the next one. Take care.